はい、皆さんこんにちは。今私たちは2日前にイギリスに帰ってきて、一昨日ですね、一昨日の夜帰ってきて、他の荷物を整理したんですけども、お土産のスーツケースはまだ整理してないので、ちょっとお土産っていうか海外にいたら必ず日本で買うものですね。それをちょっと出していきたいと思います。早く整理しなきゃいけないのにまだしてなかった。時間に追われるっていうか、子供たちの学校送り迎えがあるので、なかなかねゆっくりできないんですよね。お茶、海苔、カレーですね。カレーもこちらで買うと高いですからね。人数が多いので1袋じゃ足りないんですよね。だから大量に高野豆腐買って、塩昆布、こういう混ぜご飯の素ですね。生ラーメン、これも早く食べなきゃね。明日の朝にしようかな。で、お茶漬けの素ですね。で、穴子飯ね。これはお漬物ですね。でも結構長持ちする、日持ちするお漬物ということで、京都のお漬物、しば漬けとか。しば漬け美味しいですよね。しその水漬け、味するきとか、うり山椒、美味しそう。麩ですね。麩にだし、これも麩を大量に買っちゃった。数のねスーツケースの中にまだね多分入ってますね。桜エビのハッピーターン、ちりめん山椒、叙々苑の焼肉のタレ、うどん、ごまとか塩昆布とか、ひじき、スコンブだ。スコンブこれ持って行ってあげよう。これはなんかクッキー、お茶ね、オニオンスープ、やとりこが味付け海苔が欲しいということなので、でこれおかき、ちょっとお土産ですね。これがかつお節、しば漬け味のプッチョ、ごま豆腐、あとは海苔とかちらし寿司の素とかね。今週末食べましょう。でこれがね美味しいお味噌、本田味噌。ちょっとまっすぐにしてなかったのでちょっと漏れてます。これがお味噌、多分2キロ半。味噌汁これからも作れます。麦茶、柿の種、プッチョ、こういういちご大福味プッチョ、こんな感じですね。ダディー Are you ready? はい、ダディの登場でございます。ダディの
So, what does this say? Let me guess. Stop Brexit? No?
Guess.
Something about England.
Yeah, English type gentleman.
Okay.
Okay? じゃあちょっとダディに聞きましょうか。今回の日本の感想を聞いていきたいと思います。はい、どうでしょうか。
こんにちは。
はい。It was like 3 years since you went Japan.
そうですよ。
そうですね。どうでした？ So what's the impression you have? まだ本当にちょっとジェットラックが治ってきたところですね。
Yeah. You know, when you're young and you go somewhere completely different, it's like, wow, it's like really amazing and everything's super interesting. Right?
Yeah.
When I go to Japan now, I mean, it's so refreshing to be somewhere new, but it's all different. But it's also just so familiar. You know, like if you go back to Spain or Hong Kong or Japan or places that we've lived before, you know, I just feel like it's part of my life.
Oh, really?
I don't feel like, you know, if I went to the Amazon jungle or something, or I climbed Mount Everest, or something like that, or I went to the North Pole, it's somewhere different that I've not been before. So, you know, Japan was very familiar, but fantastic and very contrasting to England.
Yeah, I'm Japanese and I went back last year, but still when we the landed, and when we go through custom, and when we got out to the airport, it's shockingly good. All the shops and the toilet.
Yeah, I mean it's like everything is so familiar, and therefore it's not really surprising. But I think you as well. I was reminded about some of the great things about Japan compared to the West.
Yeah, it's the toilet is big, and there's a place in England. I always have difficulty, that when you have a bag, you want
the hook's always been
hook's is always broken, and or small and kind of
you can't fit.
But in Japan,
yes, I noticed that some of the hooks in the toilets were fantastic. I mean, the last one that I saw, I thought, wow, this is so well designed. You can put your bag on it, you could hang a jacket on top of it. Just it's like a work of art in terms of engineering.
And for the like shopping bag, to put the shopping bag, there's a
shelf. Yeah.
And also they can change. So there's a I don't know if you have in the male toilet, but the ladies' toilet, some people get changed in the toilet. That's why there's the small like stand floor. I've never seen it.
What? So that you can take your shoes off and stand on it?
Yeah.
Really? No, I haven't seen that.
本当にすごい. And I have a big bag, so I just put it down and I put my bag.
So you asked me to make a list of things that well, they're all things that I knew, but things that I was struck by, reminded about, and one or two things which were different. Okay, I mean, for me, obviously, everything is clean.
Yeah.
There's almost no rubbish, no litter. Everybody's polite except that taxi driver in Kyoto, but apart from it, I think number one on my list, public transport. It's fantastic. I mean, I always knew it's fantastic, but it's so good. It works so well.
Like Shinkansen.
Shinkansen, obviously. The frequency. I took the Shinkansen from Kyoto to Tokyo before I flew back to England. I was asking you, what time should I get the Shinkansen? But it doesn't really matter, right? Because it's like every,
15 minutes,
10 minutes, 12 minutes or something. And the Shinkansen's superb, absolutely fantastic. But not only that, I mean, local trains, going around Kyoto or going around Tokyo, every train I took the whole way, the whole trip was, exactly on time. Carriages are clean, air conditioned, sparkling, amazing.
Yeah.
And even taxis. I mean, there's some new taxis now which were introduced ahead of the Olympics. I mean, they're fantastic, and you can use the Go app. Yeah. They're super comfortable, much better than the old Toyota Crown taxis which are still around.
Yeah.
But the new ones are fantastic, so easy to get in and out of with bags or with shopping. The drivers are super polite, you pay in the app. Really good. And even the buses. I mean, when I lived in Tokyo, this is like more than 25 years ago, right? I was kind of reluctant to take buses because my Japanese wasn't so good. I could never really be sure where they were going, what time they would come to the stop, how much I had to pay, how I paid. It was a little bit confusing for a gaijin with limited Japanese.
Yeah.
But now with the Suica card,
Uh-huh.
which you can use on
Yeah.
all public transport,
Yeah.
Including the buses, and combined with a smartphone. I mean, this is the first time that I've really used a smartphone in Japan on my own. I had an eSIM on my iPhone, so I had data without having to sort out pocket Wi-Fi or anything. And it's fantastic. Google Maps tells you, exactly when the bus is coming, which stop to get on at, how many stops. It tells you when to get off, how much it's going to cost. So, I've previously been a little bit reluctant to use local buses in Japan, but this time I used them quite a lot, and that was fantastic. Also on public transport, the airports, both arriving at Narita and departing at Haneda, everything it could not be better, I think. The security check, customs, immigration at Narita was just fantastic. I mean, applying for the visa was a bit of a process, but the actual journey, no problem at all. I don't think it could be better.
Yeah, the security, passing security is wonderful.
And leaving Haneda, I didn't need to take anything out of my bag. Or maybe I took my iPad out. I don't remember. I mean, I said, do I have to take my belt off? And she said, no, it's okay. Shoes? No, it's okay. And I mean, I know there's not a lot of international travel, but my flight coming back was full. But going through security, I was through in, I'm not kidding, less than a minute.
Yes, the security was Japanese one is wonderful.
There's a scanner that you stand inside. I mean, I've seen them in some other airports before. They have them in Frankfurt as well. But most European airports, like Birmingham or Heathrow or Gatwick, I mean, the security queue's a bit of a nightmare, right? But in Japan it's fantastic.
本当にね。今maybe partly because not many foreigners coming and there's not many the people going to abroad.
Yeah, but most of the security lines were closed, so they still only have a few lines open because there's a smaller number of passengers. But just the process was so.
Yeah.
Why can't other countries or other airports do it like that?
Yeah, and the people in the security they're really polite.
Yeah,
would you like to go to that lane because it's the faster. Something like that.
Helpful and friendly and polite, and so everything works really well, pretty much. But I wrote down more English because of the Olympics. I don't have many examples, but I got the feeling that for visitors, there was perhaps a bit more English around, and more English speakers. I mean, it's very marginal, but I think because of the Olympics, there was a big campaign to at least teach people in service industries, enough basic English to have basic communication, right? I saw on taxis a few times, basic English spoken, that type of thing, which is good for visitors. So what else was I reminded about? I think the availability almost everywhere of fantastic food.
そうですね。You were saying when you fall down, you
you're walking
hit a
exactly.
good restaurant.
So if you're walking along the street and you trip up over something and you fall over, right, you're going to land in a fantastic restaurant where you can get amazing food.
なんかね、ダディが言うには、どこ旅行したりとかしたら必ず探すじゃないですか、いいレストラン。レーティングがいいレストランとか。日本はそんなことをしなくても転んだ先にいいレストランがある。
So when I was writing this down, I mean, I was thinking about it, comparing it to England. Okay, now there's places in England where you can get good food. I think not as good as you can get in Japan, but there are places in England where you can get good food. But certainly on this trip, and almost ever, I don't ever really remember going to a restaurant in Japan where the food was bad. I don't think it's ever happened. I mean, it's either been expected standard, good, very good, or totally amazing.
Yeah.
I've never gone into a restaurant in Japan and thought, you know, this is horrible.
I was there for 2 months. I didn't go I never experienced the restaurant which is bad.
And
all good, even the family restaurant, the cheap restaurant, it's good.
And what was the name of that yakiniku place in Kyoto?
Hiro.
Honestly, that's got to be one of the best restaurants I've ever been to in my life. I've probably had yakiniku, I don't know, maybe more than 100 times in my life, at a guess. Certainly quite a lot, you know, in Japan, in other places as well. If Hiro was a 10, I think the second best yakiniku that I've ever had in my life anywhere would be like a 6.
Really?
Or a 6.5.
What about the Happy Valley, the yakiniku?
In Hong Kong, I like that place, and we went there a lot when we were living in Hong Kong. But yeah, compared to Hiro in Kyoto, that place in Happy Valley, which, you know, is probably one of my favourite yakiniku restaurants in the world.
Really?
Because we went there so often and it was very familiar. But in terms of the quality of the food, it was 6 or 5 or something. And this place in Kyoto was just fantastic, absolutely amazing. I mean, I'm lost for superlatives. Absolutely superb. I have to go there again.
Yeah, okay.
Right?
Hi.
Also, I mean, every place we ate was good, but the other one that I keep thinking about is the pasta restaurant, you know, Japanese style pasta. And Liko meant to order 4, which was number 4, which was like meat sauce spaghetti. But she ordered number 14 by accident, which was, what was in it? Like daikon, ikara, you know, various other things and I ordered meat sauce. And Liko was crying because she got this other one she didn't want, so we swapped. I gave her my spaghetti meat sauce and I had this, you know, daikon ikara thing.
Was it good?
Spaghetti. And it was fantastic.
Oh, really?
But on the menu, looking at the menu with the pictures and the descriptions, of the 14 different dishes, it would have been the last one that I would choose. Okay, but it was fantastic and I really enjoyed it. So, you know, Japanese style spaghetti. Now, we have some really dear, good friends in Italy, right? And we know how good Italian pasta can be. I'm not saying this is better, it's very different.
Yeah, very different.
Very different. You know, the two things they're
Japanese style.
It's like 2 different types of food, right? Italian food is amazing as well. And I didn't expect this Japanese spaghetti to be good, but it was fantastic. So yeah, just, you know, and even the ramen we had. I mean, I don't even like ramen, but it was
good.
It was the best ramen I've ever had.
The restaurant, amazing restaurant, you know, in Arashiyama, when we didn't have, there no place to eat, and we're walking around to get the food, and I thought it would be
it's like in the back of behind somebody's house, you know, next to a telegraph pole. And,
so
you know.
I thought it'd be like, you know, the very basic, maybe ramen or some, you know.
Even that was great.
Burger.
Fantastic.
That sushi place, amazing.
Well, the sushi place in Kyoto.
And it was like 2,000 yen.
4 or 5 different courses.
Yeah, and it was only 2,000.
And 3 beers.
Amazing!
Yeah,
That was amazing.
It was amazing.
本当にすごかったです、あれは。
And the bartender serving as well.
Yeah, and they gave us a pen
Yeah,
for souvenir.
incredible.
And including coffee too, coffee and chocolate.
Yeah, incredible.
ほんとすごい。で、なんか粗煮があったんですね。ダディはあんまり魚が好きじゃなくて、普通粗煮なんか食べないんですけど、like the fish head you don't normally eat, but it was good, yeah.
Yeah, it was good. Especially the cheek.
そう、美味しかったって言って、本当に美味しかったです。
What else? I mean, again, something I knew, it's not new, but I really enjoyed soaking in the ofuro in the garden.
Ah, okay.
In the Airbnb in Kyoto.
Yeah, it's nice. I always like it.
But it's like
out the garden,
like a round metal tub. The water, it's got a heater in it, so the water stays hot. That was really atmospheric and peaceful. I mean, where we are here, it's peaceful and quiet, and on the right day, it's beautiful. But it's a bit too quiet. So spending time in Japan, I mean, there's just such a huge number of things to see and places to go. I really enjoyed the buzz of being in a big metropolis.
Kyoto, you mean?
Well, Tokyo, but Kyoto as well.
Yeah, I like the way we can walk and just go to corner shop or
So I mean here. Okay, if you're in London or the centre of another big city in England, you can also walk a lot. But where we're living at the moment, we don't walk much at all. We have to go everywhere by car. So I really enjoyed. If we went somewhere in Kyoto, a lot of places we walked. And in Tokyo as well. I mean, I probably walked, I don't know, 15 kilometers in a day or something, just wandering around Big Camera, Yurakacho. Hello, by the way, if you saw me there. Yeah.
We need to go? Yeah, we need to go, yeah. Well, I need to go.
You need to go.
はい、ということで。
What else? There was something else.
ということで、また何か思い出したらダディが話してくれるそうです。
No. I was also surprised by the number of people that spotted us. Yeah. そう、なんか一日に結構何人も話しかけていただいて、ずっと私たちが話しかけてくださいって言ってたからかもしれませんけど、Daddy, you should buy them beer, yeah? Maybe that's why they talk to you. Yeah, nobody asked for a beer though. But yeah, it was nice.
すごいなんか嬉しかったです。
A lot of people said hello. Some people walked past and obviously recognized me even when I was wearing a mask. YouTube のダディです。じゃあ
ということでまた次の動画でお会いしましょう。ちょっと急いで子供たちを迎えに行かなきゃいけないので。
What about all this lot?
I sort out when I come back.
Okay.
では、さようなら。